Like, how do you tell that someone had a dick inside you?
Let's not question the lesbian vampire magic.
I would think that people who don't have sex smell more than people who have.
Hi, and welcome to Movie Time. And today we have been watching Lesbian Vampire Killers, which has an awesome title, I would say. It was released in 2009. It's about two guys. It's about this one guy who kind of gets dumped
For the 7th time.
Yeah, for the 7th time or so.
And the other guy loses his clown job because he's punching children.
Yeah. It was a very weird service for the clown, because he was in a very nice office. So it seems to be a very, very successful
maybe that's just a business. British thing. Maybe clown companies are very wealthy.
Yeah, it seems like if you're a clown in Britain, you have made it.
Then you have hit the jackpot.
Yeah. Next thing is the White House. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, it's basically it. And then they go on this hiking because they can't afford going to a real party place like Ibiza. I think that's the place they want to go to. Yeah. Can't afford it. So they kind of throw a dart at a map and then decides to go to this place. It was called Craig's Witch or something like that.
Witch, yeah.
Yeah, something like that. And there starts to hike, and then they reach a house. I think it's 2 bartenders. There's this one bartender who sends them to this cabin where all the stuff happens. Yeah. That's basically it, and then shit happens and blah blah blah. We can get closer to that later. Also, perhaps we should discuss which kind of angle will we go here with, because this is a comedy movie, and it's kind of written in a way to be dumb, and you can see it on the special effects, and you can see it on the way they're acting and the lines, and also the title of the movie. It's supposed to be a dumb movie, but
it's a bit different from other movies we reviewed, where we said that they were goofy, like it was a bad thing. Yeah. This movie, on the other hand, is supposed to be goofy because it's part of comedy.
Exactly. So we need to keep that in mind when we are reviewing it and such. But okay, so let's go into the characters. And first of all, we have the 2 main characters, which are Jimmy and Fletch. Who are these guys? What are their relationship? How do they work together in the movie?
Well, I guess you start off with their best friends.
That's pretty much it. You don't get to know much more about it.
We don't know very much more about their relationship.
No, we kind of jump right into their friendship. We don't know how long they've been friends, or where they meet up, and where they started to be friends, if it was in school or something like that. We just jump right into it, and it's you kind of get the feeling that they're best friends because of the dialogue that they're having. They're kind of cursing a lot and joking like guy friends usually joke. So they're best friends, and they're really like trying to show that to the audience. And do you think they're acting well? Do you think they're funny? Do you buy them as friends, as characters, whatever?
I think you can buy them as friends, but I like Fletch a lot more than I like Jimmy, the actual main character, if you want to say that.
Yeah, but they're kind of different as characters, because from my perspective, Jimmy seems to be like this dry, grown-up guy, and Fletch is like this high school guy, or the guy who never left high school. He's like this immature guy.
I stand by my statement that they're both losers, and the only reason why they became friends is because no other gang wanted to be part of the gangs. They were 2 leftovers in school.
Yeah. It might be that they were like the last chosen guys at every sport event.
Yeah, I think so. And I would bet my money on that.
That's how they met.
Fletch is more of a comic relief than Jimmy, though.
Yeah, but
he's the base of the jokes most of the time.
Fletch is the one who is carrying all the jokes. He is the funny guy. I think you said, Ruben, that he works as a comedian at this.
Yeah, I think he's a late night show host or something.
Yeah. So he might have that experience since before. So he looks kind of comfortable playing this role. I think he's a pretty good actor. Jimmy is supposed to be. He's supposed to be like this grown-up guy. He doesn't really respond well to to Fletch's jokes, and he doesn't really give great comebacks or anything. It's more like just taking it bent over.
Yeah,
like,
but he reminds me of what's his name in How I Met Your Mother,
Ted Mosby.
Yeah, he's kind of like the thing that everything else builds around, but he himself is pretty.
Yeah,
exactly. He doesn't do much himself.
Yeah, that's true.
And I guess if you like that, Fletch is a bit like Barney in that he tries to encourage him to like live a little.
Yeah. And also to have sex like all the time.
Exactly.
Fletch is talking about sex all the time.
Yeah.
With all fairness, this is called Lesbian Vampire Killers. I know that the guys who wrote the script sat down and wanted to make a sex movie, but not like a porno, because they wanted some respect in the business.
Yeah. A few guys having a few drinks.
Yeah, exactly. And made up this movie, and here we are. So Jimmy and Fletch are the best friends, and then we have this character when they come to the cabin. They meet up with, I think it's 6 different girls there.
No, they're just 4.
4? Is it 4? Really?
There are 4 girls.
Okay, I really got it up.
There are a lot of girls.
Yeah, I got that up. Okay, there's a lot of dancing and a lot of girls. I thought it were more. Either way, then they meet up, these girls at the cabin, and this is like the Fletch dream night. That's like the best thing that could ever happen to him. Jimmy doesn't care that much, but this is like the dream life of Fletch. So they start hanging out there, and then we introduce our new main character, which is Lotte.
Or right? Lotte or whatever.
Yeah, it's either Lotte or Lotten or whatever. We don't know where they are from. We were discussing it a bit, if they're from Sweden or Germany or Swiss or...
It sounds German or Swiss.
Yeah, some of their names are kind of German. They mentioned something about Anki or Anke or Heidi or...
But Trudy and Heidi feels more like German names.
Yeah. Trudy, isn't that a bit American?
I mean,
maybe they're supposed to be like a mix of girls.
Nah, I think it's. I think that's pretty Germanish.
Okay, doesn't matter. They meet up these girls, and we introduce a new character, which is Lotte. And Jimmy and Lotte kind of hit off, or do they? I mean,
I don't think so, but they want us to believe that.
The plot is trying to push that the two become really close during the time together, even though they
have like 2 conversations where she explains a lot and he basically nods and says yes.
Yeah, because at this point Jimmy is like the biggest party pooper, while others having fun. He's like standing in a corner looking sorry for himself.
He's kind of getting over his ex-girlfriend, I guess.
Yeah, you can kind of see that he's no fun at parties. I mean, he's at a cabin with a lot of girls, and he's a single guy. I mean, I'm just saying that he should have more fun than he has. It doesn't matter. There's also alcohol in the picture.
Yeah, they had free beer at that place for some reason.
Yeah, they got that at the bartender. Okay, so I think they're first introduced by their speaking about this painting, and by speaking I mean Lotte is explaining to Jimmy what this girl on the picture is, and it's Carmilla, right? And who is Carmilla?
Well, you find out in the intro of the movie that apparently Carmilla was this evil vampire queen that turned women into vampires and made them lesbian.
Yeah, why did they get to be lesbian? Was it because that she hated boys? Or I never got that.
No, I don't think that was clarified.
I think it's just an excuse to make girls make out with each other.
I think so too. I think they wanted this to be a lot of fan service, and they really went all out.
I mean, you gotta think about how it was directing this movie. I mean, what did the director tell them? It's like, yeah, okay, so now we're in this scene again, and I know you can guess what you're going to do, but I really want you to make out.
We did all the scenes a lot of times.
Exactly. Yeah, we reshot the movie like 3 times.
It has lots of bonus material.
Yeah. Exactly. We need to watch the director's cut.
And in the end, Carmilla is defeated, it says in the intro, by this guy that has some kind of magic sword. But she puts a curse on him.
Yeah, by the end you mean the end of the explanation.
Yeah, the
from
intro.
Jimmy and
yeah, because it's all still told in the intro, like the first minutes of the movie.
Yeah, she is explaining to him what happened to Carmilla. So, continue.
Yeah. So Carmilla curses the guy that killed her, and there was something about his descendants having the curse and the same birthmark, which are the scratches across his heart or whatever.
Chest.
Yeah. The one thing I didn't get by her explanation was that she said something about that her daughters or something like that would be powerful, or was it that he was the heir, and somewhere in the end of the line of his family tree, that his blood would bring her back and she would be even more powerful.
Something like that.
It seems like when it was the last of his line, then the blood of that last member could be used to bring her back, more or less.
But isn't always the newest member the last member of the line?
Well, I mean, if we would have had 5 siblings, it wouldn't be the last one, I guess.
I guess so.
So he didn't have any family left. He was like all alone.
Well, it kinda sounds like that.
Yeah, because he had a father, then he would, and they would kill Jimmy, then he would be the last one. So he was like dead alone. That's a bit sad. So all he had in his life was this Fletch guy.
And his on-again, off-again girlfriend.
Yeah, exactly. I kind of get why he was so attached to her, because that was like his only family.
I can also understand why he looked so gloomy all the time.
Yeah, he was like depressed. They were really trying to get us to understand that. Okay, we got it now. That's better.
Yeah.
That's better.
Took some reflecting, but now it makes a lot of sense.
That's better than nothing. Okay, so well, that's pretty much it, and that's all the characters and stuff. In order to continue now, I think we need to move into the spoiler section. Because now we need to discuss what kind of happens after after he explains that to her and whatnot, because that's when the things starts to happen and involve the movie, if you will say. So they're in the cabin now, and there is this one girl and another girl. There are 2 nameless girls. They go to the bathroom, right?
Yeah,
and it's like this outhouse because
they don't have a
no, they have like a super modern.
They have a very modern shower, but not a toilet.
That makes no sense.
They have running water, but they don't have a toilet.
No.
So you do like half the bathroom.
Who wants to shit in their shower?
Exactly.
But I can just imagine how they built like the shower room last year, and they looked afterwards like, why didn't you add a toilet also? And the constructor was like, why? There's a toilet right outside.
Yeah, that was like an old construction guy. Okay, so they go out to the bathroom and whatnot, and there's the first murder or transition. I don't know what you should call it.
Yeah, transfer. They capture the girls and
transformation is the right word.
Transform them to new vampires.
Lesbian vampires.
Yeah. Do you know what the funny part about that scene was? Not funny like what was meant to be funny, I think, or maybe it was, I don't know. That when she first starts screaming like hell, like she screams for like 10 seconds or so with the camera on her. It was just a spider, right? Yeah. And then when the real vampire shows up, she was like, It's like,
priorities.
Yeah, exactly. Fuck that spider, but this was worse. Okay, it doesn't matter. She dies. She doesn't die. She transforms into a vampire. And then the other girls also starts to transform into vampires. I mean, it's like...
I think they transformed first. They were like taken in when they were at the...
Well, it doesn't
around the same time.
Yeah, it doesn't really matter.
What matters is that the Arthur and Desmond vampires except Lotte.
Yeah, so 3 of the 4 girls are captured and transformed.
Yeah, Judy shows up.
Yeah, Jimmy's ex shows up.
Yeah, they made no sense because early in the movie, like really, really early after breakup and after went to this hiking, she calls him out of the blue because
her plans didn't work out. She wanted to be with a guy, but apparently he was married. So So she wanted Jimmy back.
Exactly, and she calls him on his cell phone, and of course he's like out in the forest with no reception at all, and Fletch is just being like this cool guy and just destroys his cell phone in order for them not to get back together. But later on she shows up. It's like, how the hell did she know that he was there? And it never explains in the movie.
The only reason is that if she was able to somehow track where he answered his phone.
Yeah, but how?
But that still doesn't make sense. No. How does she find the
especially
cabin?
Not in 2009.
Yeah, it's not like it was that advanced at that stage. You have to be like the FBI for that to work.
And it's not like general knowledge. It's not like, okay, I'm going to track this guy. It wasn't like he was on Snapchat or something.
It's not like he even said where he was when they were talking briefly.
No, because he could barely hear her.
Yeah.
Yeah, and apparently doesn't have any family, so she couldn't find out from them either.
Exactly. It was like...
And his only friend was
alone.
with him.
Yeah, and his only friend was with
Maybe
him.
he left a note to his cat. I don't know.
Or to like the postman or something.
Exactly. Yeah, it doesn't matter. She shows up. I mean, it's weird, but she shows up, and she's standing in a doorway. Of course, she's like super happy, I think. And he invites her in. Turns out she's a vampire. I mean, she got bit by Carmilla earlier in the movie.
Or some of the other vampires.
Yeah, exactly. She was like... her car broke down and she got bit.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah. Okay, so she shows up and she's a vampire, and here is when the shit hits the fan, I guess. Because now all the vampires like gathers up.
They surround the cabin and tries to break in, and they do stupid things.
They can't get in first, and Jimmy's like, why don't they enter? And Lotte says, they can't enter unless they invite them inside. And then Jimmy makes a sarcastic joke where it says, oh, so I would have to be a real idiot to say you're all welcome inside or something like that. And that works, they all come inside.
Yeah, but I kind of like that. I think that's kind of funny.
Yeah.
I mean...
this is a movie with very dumb jokes.
Yeah, I mean...
But they are funny sometimes.
Yeah, it's kind of low-ball jokes, but, it kind of works. I mean,
it's not the worst thing.
No, exactly. So it's kind of a low humor in that way, but I mean, it's pretty good. Yeah, so they got invited into the cabin sarcastically, and they start to murder them.
Yeah, they start to fight, and some got their heads chopped off, and someone got an axe through their head, and someone got penetrated by a pole or stake, I guess, through the heart.
Wasn't it like always like an axe to the head, or like always like decapitation, like always? It's like it was really easy to decapitate her.
Yeah, it wasn't that hard.
No, because there was this one scene where she uses like a necklace, and I thought she was like just going to like put it around her neck in order to like put her in, I don't know, some sort of shock or something.
Yeah.
But she's like ripped her head off with the necklace.
With a necklace.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, not to mention the scene where Fletch used a frying pan to knock someone's head off.
Yeah, that too. It's like super easy.
Yeah, these aren't the tough vampires you see in some movies.
They must have really fragile necks.
Yeah, just imagine if they trip or something, like hit their head on the roof or something. Just like...
slip in the shower.
Yeah, falls off.
Not to mention that many vampires wouldn't even die from decapitation.
No. Well,
yeah,
it depends on what lore.
Yeah, it depends on what lore, yeah. That's why I say many vampires.
The head wouldn't grow back, so... They can...
For some it would.
Okay. I mean, it's a bit strange.
Vampires are strange.
Yes, they are. And I don't think they are so true to the lore here. I don't know even which lore. I mean, they do have like this typical garlic, white garlic. What's it called? Garlic, yeah, not white garlic. That's Swedish. Garlic, and like this stake to the heart.
Stake through the heart.
Yeah.
Decapitation and sunlight.
And this that it can't be. They have to be invited inside. It's also pretty traditional.
Yeah, exactly. So.
But then they run outside for some reason, and Lotte and Jimmy get captured by the vampires and taken to their ritual site.
Yeah, they bring it out in the forest somewhere deep in, and
because they want to resurrect Carmilla.
Yeah, that's like this prophecy that's going to be fulfilled.
Yeah.
But they needed a virgin too.
Yeah, and Letty apparently is a virgin.
But did she say that in the beginning, Carmilla?
I don't actually remember her saying that, so I don't think so.
But you do that anyway, so whatever.
Yeah, but what if she wasn't there?
What if she was lying?
Yeah, exactly.
What if she was lying?
Maybe she just was like...
But they smelled her and said, "Oh, she's pure."
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, maybe that was just a shampoo.
How do you smell? How do you know that someone has that? How do you tell that someone had a dick inside you?
Let's not question the lesbian vampire magic.
I would think that people who don't have sex smell more than people who have what?
maybe that's why it's so easy to tell.
I don't know.
This is a guy or a girl who spends a lot of time in the basement.
Yeah, I don't know.
Doesn't shower because he doesn't need to. Doesn't matter. They find out that she's a virgin and whatnot, and they try to bring them together or bring their blood together.
Yeah.
Jimmy's blood because he's like this prophecy guy, and her because she's a virgin, and they're going to mix their blood, and then by that, like a phoenix out of the ashes, Carmilla is going to arise.
Yeah. Oh. And in the meantime, Fletch is left at the cottage or whatever, and the vicar runs in there and tries to convince him to help.
This is where the new character comes in, the vicar.
Yeah, well, he was in the bar scene in the beginning as well.
Oh, yeah, he was.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, actually, that's true.
Right, for 2 minutes.
Yeah. But you didn't know that he was supposed to be like this important
he
guy. I just thought he was going to be some plot device because we're going to get a feeling of what was going to happen.
So basically he knows how to defeat Carmilla, and he tries to persuade Fletch to help him, also because his daughter is turning 18 in a few hours or a few minutes, I don't even know. And because when she turns 18, all the women in the village turn vampire.
Yeah, and that sounds like an enormous problem to the point I can't actually see why anyone would still live in that village.
No. Exactly.
How does that spread? How does the curse know the limit of the village?
Yeah, I don't know, but...
And also, why... I mean, at some point, the ladies gotta run out.
Yeah.
And also,
why would they continue to have sex and make more babies when they know that's gonna happen anyway?
Yeah, that's my point. Like, this curse is pretty damn serious, so why would they just accept it?
Yeah. It's like use rubber, man.
Or move.
Yeah, or move. I would
somewhere
move.
else. Yeah, I would move. That would be like the easiest way.
Or maybe if they're born in this village, maybe it will affect them no matter where they go.
Yeah, but they could still move to, like, save future generations.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. Good one on them. Okay, so it doesn't matter. We should get too deep into that because, I mean, we can...
I don't think the movie makers thought about this.
Yeah, it will be like a rabbit hole that will never end. Okay, so Vicar is introduced. And what do the Vicar wants to do? He wants to help Fletch to kill... or he doesn't really want to help Fletch. He really wants to help himself. But he needs Fletch to help him, I would say. It's more that way.
He wants his help.
Yeah, exactly. Fletch don't really want to help, but he's kind of forced into it.
Yeah.
So what do we need to kill her?
Well, so the vicar takes Fletch to the tomb of the old warrior that had the magical sword and fought Carmilla once, because the sword is buried there with him.
Yeah.
And so Fletch tries to open a tomb, and he fails because he can't use a crowbar properly. But down there they find the sword, which apparently has a penis for a handle.
Yeah, exactly. It's called...
the sword of
Dialdo.
Dialdo.
Yeah, exactly.
Dialdo.
Exactly.
It took a while before I realized that they meant dildo, but okay.
Maybe he didn't. He probably did.
Yeah.
Okay, so he needs a sword in order to kill that Carmilla girl. And so they move on to do that.
Yeah, and along the way, the vicar gives Fletch holy water. Fletch fills it in his condoms, so he can throw them like water balloons.
Yeah, Fletch was this sex guy, as we mentioned earlier, and of course he brings condoms. And the only use he gets for it is trying to make like water bombs,
which should be worse.
It was a horrible idea, but a good thing is that the idea never actually works in the movie.
No, that's good.
Yeah, that's very good.
But it doesn't really work because we said in that way that condoms are too hard to break.
Yeah.
It works. It doesn't work because Carmilla is too strong enough.
She just sends a shockwave.
Yeah, she doesn't get hit because she just sends a shockwave away from it.
I think it would be funny if he threw it and it would have hit her and it just wouldn't break.
Yeah.
And someone would have said, "Dude, that's a condom.
Yeah,
they don't break."
That would be so much funny. Yeah. Or like the second one would break. It's like, oh, good, you didn't use that one.
That would be funny.
Yeah, exactly.
Missed opportunity.
Exactly. We should send an email to him because he did leave an opportunity for a sequel.
Why aren't we making our own movie?
Yeah, we can make it, then review it, and give it a 10 out of 10.
Yeah, no bias.
Because we're only removing bad movies. Anyway.
Oh, fuck.
Oh, yeah, that's
okay. If we should, like, I don't know, is it worth mentioning or we should jump to the end because...
I think we can jump to the end.
No, I think we can also discuss that, and it's not more of a discuss, more of a mention, that they get tied up to the tree before they awake Carmilla, Jimmy, and this Lotte girl. And I don't know if this like are they're playing on a joke where they just met and they try to do that thing, you know, when they say I love you too early. If that's kind of the joke, I don't know, but she says I love you to Jimmy, like
even though he said like 4 words to her and she said like 2 sentences.
Because she has this long speech about how she feels like he's completely different from anyone she has ever met and that she would give him her mind, soul, and body, and so on. Yeah.
And if we put their relationship on a time schedule here, how long do you think they have known each other? I would say 2 hours.
I was going to say top 6 hours.
Yeah. 6 hours, really?
I don't know how long the
party and you don't actually know how long the party went on, but... No, it wasn't long. I would say 3 hours, maybe.
Okay, you meet us in the middle. That's fine.
Whatever.
Doesn't matter. It's like worth mentioning. I just thought that was stupid. Like, there's no way in hell that she would say that.
No.
Even if she felt that, she would never ever say that.
If she does, she's a psycho.
Exactly, and he should like get a restraining order or something. Because that's like a huge red flag.
Yeah.
That's gonna be the sequel when she goes crazy.
Exactly. Together with that gay werewolf. Okay, so we are closing up to the climax of the movie, which isn't really a climax because I thought it was a missed joke there. But McLaren, which is Jimmy is McLaren. He takes up this sword because he finds on the ground. Because of reasons you can see in the movie. And he's just standing there, and Carmilla, of course, recognizes him. Oh shit, you're Jimmy McLaren, the guy from the earlier stage. Yeah. And he just throws it. He throws the sword. I mean, I thought that was lame.
Yeah, the final battle lasted for like 1.5 minutes.
It wasn't a battle. It was like a staring contest, and then he threw the sword.
Yeah, first they threw condoms, and then they threw the sword.
Yeah. And he hits her. I don't know if he hits her right in the vagina.
No, he hits her heart.
Yeah, in the heart.
And it goes through her, and the heart still sits on the sword when it hits the ground.
Aren't there 2 missed jokes then?
Yeah, I also thought so, because it would have been funny to end it with some kind of penetration joke, but...
Exactly.
No.
Or maybe that's too low. I mean...
How is that too low compared to the rest?
Yeah.
Maybe they have standards.
Not a lot of high-class humor.
You can imagine they discussed this. I can promise you they discussed it. Doesn't matter. She got hit in the heart then. Okay. I thought that his friend would get hit in his knee or leg or something. Because he says, oh my god. And I thought, okay, he got hit. But he didn't. He's just like, oh my god, you actually hit her. It's like... So, yeah, I know it kind of works, but it would be funny to like explore that a bit. Yeah. So she dies.
Yeah, and then basically they decide because they have nothing better to do, they are going to become lesbian vampire killers.
Yeah, and
it ends.
They kind of decide that at like 1 minute.
Yeah.
Don't they have anything else to do?
Oh well.
Doesn't Fletch have any kind of family, or doesn't
Jimmy have a job or what?
Doesn't Lotte have a job or anything?
Yeah, that's the thing. And I thought out what Jimmy actually is doing, but he might be doing something.
Maybe he's living on his girlfriend's salary.
No, because they said at the start that he had a lot of money saved up, but he said, no, I lent it to my girlfriend so she could buy a new car.
Maybe he's an executive at the
clown oh my gosh. What if he got a lot of life insurance money when his parents died?
Oh no! He's so... Oh, they spent all the money on her car.
Oh, and she's dead, so she's never going to pay anything back. Oh, Jimmy.
Sad end to a sad life of Jimmy McLaren. Okay, so, I mean, it's time to rate the movie, and, you know, should you start?
Should I start?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know what I think.
No, I have a hard time to give it a good
I don't think it's a good movie, but I don't think it's that bad, but there are a lot, I don't want to say a lot of good jokes. There are a few good jokes and a few bad jokes, and the plot is pretty predictable, and there's a lot of boobs, basically.
Yeah.
So if you want to see a movie with boobs in it, you can watch this one, I guess. Unless you have internet. If you don't have internet.
Oh, if you don't have internet, no.
But
or your dad's old magazines.
Yeah. We'll find a few in the forest or whatever. Anyway, it's kind of a middle of the road movie for me, so I think I'm just going to give it a 5 out of 10.
Well, I thought this movie's kinda exactly what I expected. No, the jokes in it are alright. I don't think they had any jokes in the movie that were like hilarious, like nothing that made us like laugh to the point where we laughed non-stop. And that happens sometimes, but it didn't happen in this movie.
Yeah, there were a few jokes like you laughed for.
Yeah, some were funny, but not super funny.
A few good laughs, a few giggles, and then meh.
Yeah. So yeah, I still have fun watching it, but yeah, I agree with you. 5 out of 10.
Yeah, I mean, it is a comedy, so we kind of need to put a lot of effort or a lot of weight into the jokes, I guess. And as you said, there's really nothing new about the jokes. They kind of like reuse jokes, and there's a lot of sex jokes, a lot of dick jokes. I mean, it is pretty low.
A lot of obvious jokes.
A lot of obvious jokes.
You could see many jokes coming from a mile away.
Yeah. So, but I really think that there's a quite good dynamic between Jimmy and Fletch. They're kind of a different personas, both of them. So, but so I would say that. I mean, the story is worth mentioning too. I think it's like what to say about the story. Really, it's not about the story really.
No.
It's more about the lesbian girls. It's more about just the sex things. It's not really about the story. The story is more of that thing that needs to exist in order to make this movie. So it doesn't really have any more weight than that. So I'm going to give it a 6 out of 10. It's also worth mentioning in the credits, there was all male.
Basically, there were like three women, and they did music and costumes and makeup. Pretty obvious that a lot of guys made this
it's
movie.
a guy movie.
You can tell who they aimed this at.
Yeah.
Horny teenage boys.
Yeah.
Exactly. And us.
Yeah, this is kind of movie I watch when the wife is away. That's how it works.
Exactly. Yeah. Okay, so this was Lesbian Vampire Killers. We'll see you next time.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.